I have been working with communications for about 30 years. Press releases, media pitches, client proposals, speeches, board messages, crisis statements, social media newsletters. I have written more of these things than I can count. And now, AI can produce a first draft of many of them in less than a minute. So, the honest question is, did AI replace what I do? No. It made the mechanical part faster, but it made the human part even more important. That is what this video is about. My name is Petrou. I run Star Media in Montreal, and my background is public relations, media, and communications. Long before AI became the word everyone was using, I was helping people and organizations explain who they are, what they do, and why it matters. A few months ago, I wrote the Small Business AI Playbook because I saw many business owners looking at AI the wrong way. They were looking for magic, and what they needed was a method. This video is not a sales pitch for the book. It is a real example from my own work. I want to show you exactly where AI helps me and where it absolutely does not replace me. The first place AI helps me is with first drafts. And for people in communications, the first draft is often where a lot of time disappears. Not because we do not know what to say, because starting from a blank page is expensive. It costs time, it costs energy, and sometimes it delays the whole project. So now, when I need a press release, an email, a proposal introduction, a social media post, or a short announcement, I use AI to get me moving. I give it the context, who is the audience, what is the message, what is the tone, what must be included, what should be avoided, and I get a draft back quickly. Is it ready to publish? No, never. But that is not the point. The point is that it gets me from zero to something. Then I do the real work. I clean it, I correct it, I sharpen it, I make it sound like a person, the organization, or the brand it represents. AI gives me the clay, my experience shapes it. The second place AI helps me is research and preparation. Before a meeting, a campaign, a media pitch, or a positioning discussion, you need background. You need to know what is happening around the issue. You need to understand the audience. You need to see what others are saying. In the past, that could take me an hour or more before I even started thinking strategically. Now, I can use AI to summarize information, compare points, organize notes, and show me the patterns faster. But again, let me be very clear. AI is not the strategist. It is the assistant in the room. The judgment is still mine. The decision is still mine. And of course, the responsibility is still mine. This is where business owners see the practical value. The third place AI helps me is repurposing. This is a big one for business owners because most people do not need more ideas. They need to get more value from the work they already created. A video can become a LinkedIn post. A LinkedIn post can become a newsletter item. A newsletter item can become 3 social captions. A presentation can become a short article. AI helps me reformat the material quickly, but I still decide what matters. I still decide what should be emphasized, and I still make sure the voice does not disappear. Here's the part that matters most. The value of AI is not simply that it saves time. The value is what you do with it, time it gives you back. When AI helps with the first draft, I have more time to think. When AI helps with the research, I have more time to ask better questions. And when it helps repurpose content, I have more time to make sure the message is actually useful. That is where the real work is. In PR, the best question is not how do we write this faster? The best question is what should we be saying, to whom, right now, and why? That question does not come from a tool. It comes from experience, from listening, from understanding people, timing, pressure, reputation, and trust. AI can help you move faster, but it cannot know what your judgment knows. I know some professionals hear all this and think, If AI can write, what happens to me? I understand that concern, but here's my answer. A client in a difficult situation does not need a fast first draft. They need someone who understands the situation, someone who knows what to say, what not to say, when to speak, and when to say quiet. A business dealing with a sensitive issue does not only need a summary. They need judgment, perspective, someone who has seen enough to know what can go wrong. That is not replaced by AI. If anything, AI makes that part more visible, because once the repetitive work moves faster, what remains is the work that requires a human being. So, here's a simple takeaway. Look at your own week. Find the 3 tasks you repeat all the time. Not the most important tasks, the repetitive ones. The ones that take time but do not require your best thinking every minute. That is where AI can start helping you. Start with 1 task, use 1 tool, and give it 2 weeks. If you want the full roadmap, the Small Business AI Playbook is in the description. And if you want to map this to your own business, you can book a session at morestarmedia.com. Subscribe if you want practical AI ideas without the hype. Next week, I will talk about the first AI tool I actually recommend people start with, and it is not necessarily the one everyone talks about first. I will see you next week.